channel. Welcome back to the Greenhouse Homestead. Today I wanted to do a video on our garden. I wanted to talk about some of the mistakes that we made as beginner gardeners. We're about to start planning for our fall garden, which is going to be a lot better than this. A lot of lessons we learned this season that we're going to take into the next season. And before we do that, I wanted to just share our mistakes so that you can potentially learn from our mistakes and not do these things on your beginner gardener journey. A little bit of backstory. Last summer was our first garden. Yeah, we had a garden last summer. It was a very small garden. It was just one garden box, and we did tomatoes, collard greens, peppers, and cilantro. I feel like that was it. And actually the crops did very well. So much so to where I kind of thought that it was easy. And when we did our bigger garden this season, I was sadly mistaken. Gardening is not, I'm not gonna say it's hard, but it takes some knowledge. And let's just say I learned a lot. And I'm gonna talk about some of those things. So let's go on over to the garden so I can show you what we got going on. Hey chickens. Okay, so I'm just gonna start from left to right. We have 4 boxes, so it shouldn't take too long. So this first little half box we have here, one of the mistakes that we made was initially filling this box, or this garden box, with too many crops. So I originally had 3 crops on each side and then 3 down the middle. I was going off of what the seedling directions were. A lot of them say you can plant them 6 inches apart, 4 inches apart, and I don't know, in my experience that didn't go well, and I can tell you one of the reasons why. I have this tomato. This is an indeterminate Cherokee purple heirloom tomato plant. It got huge really fast, and it created a lot of shade, which made this middle row not do well, and also this one that was in this little pocket here did not do well because of the shade. I didn't architecturally design the placement of the plants well in this box. So yeah, that was a mistake. Putting them too closely together in a tomato box, because tomatoes get very large and they shade everything. So that was a mistake. Right here I see a tomato that's blushing that needs to be picked. So I'm gonna do that when I'm done with this video too. Next mistake, cucumbers. So these cucumbers were originally in this bed along the middle. So when I noticed that I did that all wrong, they weren't getting any any sun, I had to think quick, figure out where else I could put them. And I also just had them, I didn't have any trellis or anything for them to grow on. I didn't know that cucumbers needed to vine. So I had this trellis already. I'm gonna put my herbs on it. Don't worry about them. They're sad right now because I need to water them, but they'll be back as soon as I water them after this video. They're fine. I moved the, y'all know I'm pregnant and it's hot and I get out of breath. I'm winded. All right. I needed to move the cucumbers on the trellis. So I put them in the ground over here. And there were actually 3 plants. 2 of them did not transplant well. But this one is doing very well. And I actually have gotten a cucumber off of it. But again, another mistake I made is I didn't prune the plant. And the first one happened at the bottom and it ripened on the ground. And, you know, that's not good for vegetables. So it didn't turn out good. It yellowed. So now we're waiting on our next one, which is right here. Dang, nothing is focusing. It's right there. We're waiting on that one. I'm gonna try to see if I could train her over here. I read that if you tap a tendril to somewhere, they'll use it. So let's see in the next couple days if she'll remember this place to grab onto. The next mistake. This was our potato bed. And we have gotten lots of potatoes out of it. Right now, what you see majority here is our sweet potatoes. And the mistake that I made in this bed is it's not deep enough. So we get a lot of potatoes, but they're very small. They're like baby potatoes. And that's because it's not enough soil. It's too shallow, it's not enough soil. So for the fall season, I'm gonna be doing potatoes again, but I'm gonna be getting those potato bags where they have a much bigger depth and we can get bigger potatoes. This on the end is another tomato plant that was over here that, like I said, it was too full, too much going on. So I transplanted her here. I haven't gotten any tomatoes from her yet, but she's just now bouncing back. So let's see if by the end of the summer, she'll give me a little something. Next mistake. Collard greens. I decided to plant some collard greens in the summer, and look at those results. Pests, pests, pests. It wasn't until after I planted them that I found out that greens are not good to plant in the summer. They don't do well. They do better in the fall. And the reason, you may be asking, like, why don't you research these things before you do it? Because I'm the type of learner. It's kind of similar to like the paint situation, how I don't like to tape off painting and prep for painting and all that stuff. I don't really like to prep for things that, hey, chickens. They like to eat my pepper plant. I'm not really big on a lot of prep work. I like to just get my hands dirty and go ahead and get in it and learn intuitively and learn the lessons for myself. That way I can understand it better. Because if I just read something from online and they're like, oh, don't grow greens in the summertime because of pests, I'm not really gonna 100% believe them. I'm the type that I question everything, and I can't just take what anyone says or the internet says as face value. I decided to flip the camera around. I started thinking that, I don't know if you all like me having the camera on the object without me being in it. You know, I'm fairly new to YouTube, so just let me know in the comments, like, did you like how I was doing it before, or would you prefer me be in it? I do have a tripod, but our yard is it's like no level spot, and I'm afraid if I put it too far, you're not gonna be able to hear me. So I'll try to do it like this. But what I was saying is, I don't take information at face value. I like to experience it myself. So the collard greens is something that I definitely did learn, and I will not be doing going forward in the spring and summer seasons. I will be doing this in our fall garden. I will be replanting. I don't know if I'm gonna do collards, but I'm definitely gonna do kale and some salad greens, and some other things. Another mistake that I made while we're on this bed is when we started our bed, I had no flowers. Child, I didn't have no flowers in the garden. So what that means is no pollination. There was no pollination happening. My arm. But not only was there no pollination, it was a bunch of pests. So flowers bring pollination to your garden, and they also repel pests. So we had both of those issues. So I went and got some marigolds. That's the only flower I have in here, but I will be planting way more flowers in our fall garden, because these marigolds are not even doing that well. They have helped with pests, I will say that. But they're not even doing that good. So another mistake. I know y'all are like, what? And if you watched our last video, then you know what this is. This is an unplanned watermelon patch. If you follow me on Insta, oh shit, no, I don't do no bees. If you follow me on Instagram, then you might have caught this story. This was our final bed that I was trying to put all of my greens in, which is good that it didn't work out, because greens are not good for the summer, like I just said. But as I was trying to figure out what greens I was gonna buy, Aaron was using this bed as our compost bed. And we eat a lot of watermelon. So there was a lot of watermelon seeds and watermelon rinds in our compost. Something started growing, and we were pulling it out for a while thinking it was weeds. Come to find out, it was watermelon, child. It's watermelon. And it's taken over my whole damn garden. Look at this. It's taking over everything. It's taking over my greens bed, which I have some onions and some garlic in here that are casualties of this monstrous watermelon plant. So while I am excited to have these beautiful watermelons that I'll show you here in a minute again, this ain't what I wanted. This is just chaos. So next summer, watermelon will have their own designated area, and it will not be this many seeds. This thing is huge. So don't put your compost directly into the garden beds. I mean, I guess you can if you don't mind something like this happening, but it's taking over my garden. I showed the watermelons last video, but here is one here. Gotta make sure, because these bees be patrolling. This is one here. She's getting really big. We have one here. We have another one, if she's still making it, here. And another baby right here. And there's, sorry, my phone cut off. My phone cut off. It keeps overheating because it's hot as hell outside. This fucking squirrel, he done took a bagel out of our trash can. What you looking at? Boy, I can't stand these squirrels. They so bold. Go on about your business. Those were all the mistakes I don't know a number to that. Like, it's just so many little things that we made mistakes on. So I don't even want to put a number to it. You know, hopefully you caught all of that. Just stop and rewind it. There were a lot of mistakes within mistakes within mistakes. But the info is there. So we're about to start planting fall garden. I will make a video of that process, and let me know about I'm rambling at this point. I'm rambling. I'm rambling. Y'all have a blessed day. We will see you next video.